Hello everyone and welcome back to Red Dead Online, where we have some brand new crimes ready for us to take part in, added to the game today. The Saloon contract. This takes part in 3 episodes, and you know the score with this. We can earn some good rewards and some good XP at the same time as getting our hands on some. As you'd expect, these missions take part in and around the saloons, and in particular the saloons in Santos. There's a few shady characters and 3 important stashes of capitale, and you need to retrieve all of them and take them back to the dead drop, and you need to do this separately, one at a time. Each of the stashes is protected by some bad guys, and you want to take your time and give yourself a chance to loot the important people in the mission, just so you don't miss any capitale, because remember, you don't get any of this capitale for yourself. You have to pick that up and scavenge your own from the bad guys. So do hang around and see if you can pick any up, and also look for lock boxes and chests and things like that as well, rather than just getting in and getting out. And here's your dead drop location in the center of the cemetery. So let's see how we get on with these missions. I'll show you exactly how I've done it today.
Crazy how I met you. Forgive me, I lost my way. I heard you say
So this is the latest in the DLC drip feed of the content. I do think that it's a nice touch for Rockstar to be adding these missions into the game 1 week at a time. It just gives everything a little bit of a chance to breathe, and gives everyone a chance to really master the individual missions. And these 3-part crime stories are a lot of fun, and because they're dragged into 3 separate parts and they're all connected, you earn a little bit more each time you do them. There are several of these now in the game, and I've really enjoyed getting to grips with them, and I wonder how many more there will be. Once you pick up each of the capitale stashes, inevitably there's going to be some attention from the law, and you're going to need to lose that before you head to the drop-off. But if you head close enough to the drop-off, you should be able to shake them off, as they won't come into the cemetery. You can see here that I'm running against the clock, and that's because the time does disappear on you, especially if you're hanging around to loot everyone, which, as I said, you do want to do. You can note here that I've got just under 6 minutes to get the final capitale stash, but I do know where it is, and actually it's not that far. Depending on which one of these you go for first, you may come across different characters. Some of them are a bit more aggressive, some of them will just turn over the capitale as soon as you get in front of them and point your gun at them. In this case, I didn't have to struggle too much, but don't forget to chase down any of these culprits and loot them, because they will probably be the ones that end up having the capitale, which you can take with you. It's hard to say precisely how much capitale is in these missions and how much is available for you to take out for yourself. And in most cases, I've seen a couple, maybe 3. I don't think that Rockstar have actually released any information on how much of the capitale is available. I think they just want us to keep searching, and that's part of the challenge of these missions. So once you've got all 3 of these, drop it off and you're all done with part 1. There is a cooldown for about 30 minutes for each of these missions, but if you just jump out of the game and then jump back in, you will be able to avoid that. The second part of the missions takes place in Van Horn, again around the saloon. In this case, I'm following a bootlegger who seems to be leading me to the capitale stash, and it doesn't really work out that way. He just leads me into the saloon, in which case I then pick up a lot of attention, get into a bit of a bar brawl with some of the locals, and I find the capitale laying on the floor nearby. I've done this a couple of times, and I can see that the capitale is not located in the same place each time, so I guess there is some randomized locations here, which makes it a little fun, and again adds a little challenge for those players that are doing this more than once. And again, stick around and loot some of the characters in the bar, because one of them, or maybe two of them, could end up having capitale. I think I found one capitale on this guy here. I also looked around for some lockboxes in the bar, and I didn't really find anything except some random collection stuff, bottles and things like that. And that reminds me, you can actually collect some of the collectibles, cards and things like that while you're doing these missions, which is also kind of cool. There you go, I picked up 3 capitale from that guy on the floor. That was really important because I hadn't seen anything else up to this point. You don't need to go too crazy with the capitale hunting. There is a fair opportunity to pick this up if you're just taking your time. Don't worry too much about lockboxes and things like that. Occasionally you'll come across them. Just use your dead-eye vision to locate anything nearby. But my experience with a lot of these missions is there just isn't a huge amount for you to collect, because it's all about the rewards that you get paid after dropping off. Don't miss the opportunity to loot people, particularly important characters that you come across during the mission, because they may well have capitale on them. As you saw, I picked up 3 from one random guy in a bar, and it's hard to establish which of the characters may be the person of import, so just start looting everyone. Take your time, look at the clock, and you should have enough time to do this. So part 3, the final part, it sees you going back to Saint Denis at night, and we're heading to the Bastille Saloon, and I've been told that the owner of the saloon has some capitale stashed away. And again, you could approach this in a number of different ways. I was also warned that there could be someone waiting for me there, because I've started to generate a little bit of a reputation for being someone that will come in and steal your capitale. So as I walked in, I noticed a couple of guys, and I could hear them chatting about me at the bar, but they didn't stop me walking up the stairs, and I just headed up. If you've done a few collections and you know your way around the saloon, you will know that the upstairs bedroom is probably where the saloon owner is going to be located, and indeed he was. When I went in, he dropped to his knees. He didn't have anything on him, actually. He jumped out the window, and I did chase him down and take him out, but there was nothing on him. I got clean taken out by a couple of police officers, and I had to spend some time just writing that. Once I'd taken them out and finding my hat, I managed to locate the salon owner, double check that he didn't have anything on him, and then of course I had to go back to the salon to try to find the stash, which I did find laying just completely discarded behind the bar. Nice and easy. As soon as I picked it up, I generated a wanted level, so I also had to get rid of the police officers, but I did stick around for a bit and have a nosy around the bar and see if there were any lockboxes and stuff like that, but I really couldn't find anything. My experience with this is it can be quite random. Sometimes the lockbox will be somewhere where you might think it will be, and I'm not even sure if there are any. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not, and I think that's the part of the beauty of these missions. The part that makes them that little bit interesting is that they do change each time you do it. So heading off to drop off the last of the capitale stash to the contact. So this has been fun, and I'm really excited that Rockstar are continuing to add this content into the game. I know a lot of people have said that the update itself doesn't have enough to keep you busy, but I'm not necessarily agreeing with that. I think that if you're interested in this game and you enjoy playing it, then you will have a lot of fun doing these opportunities. Well, I'll be back next time. Take care, and I'll see you soon.